All right, well, so what we want to do is kind of continue this idea, but we want to start at the right hand side, because notice it's when this right hand one is lower than the top of the left hand one as I'm looking at a pair that we need to cut things off. So we're going to start all the way at the right and just kind of move back this way. So what I want to do to get ready for that is I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of these pieces, there and there. So I just have the graph. I want to see the whole graph again so I can kind of find the pieces and zoom in. And so I know that the X needs to go up to like 55,000. 55,000, and the Y needs to go up to I don't know, I think it's 1100. Whoops, 1100, something like that. Now if I close that, yeah. So I can see it there, so that's the start. Now, and that gets me a pretty good view. I can always, zoom out a little bit and kind of look at things. But there we have the rightmost piece. Now, I don't want to mess with the originals because I want those as reference. So what I'm going to do is copy each one of these and rename it. So I'm just going to go up here and highlight the whole thing, do a Control C for copy, and I'll come down here and do a Control V for paste, and see it's got that whole thing. Now for the moment I'm going to widen this out so I can see everything better. And notice this got a warning sign. Well, it's because I've defined the same thing twice. So now I'm just going to get rid of that F and make it a G, and see everything came back here. And I'll do the same thing here. Control C for copy, Control V for paste. I need to get way back here to the left, and again need to make that a G, and the last two here, so again a Control C, Control V, get back here to the left, make that a G, and finally the last one here. And again, these would be a little shorter if I had changed those less than or equal signs. Control C again, Control V, and oops, there we go, and there's G. Okay, so I have those, and there are all sorts of different colors. Have the P still, and so now I'll bring this back over. I'll have to kind of go back and forth as I go. Excuse me. Okay, so what we want to do is start here all the way to the right on this one at the 50,000, and you see that's 850, and it's we do better if we order 50,000 than if we order, say, whatever this is up here, 45,500. It's cheaper, and so we can just kind of go through this, turn it into sort of workman-like procedure where I start here at this rightmost one, and I check it. Okay, I'm at 50,000 is my X value, and so I am just going to type in Y equals and I'll use P, so P of 50,000. There's 50,000, and I'll know I have it right when it goes through the very end of this rightmost piece. And so now there, that is where I want to change over that intersection. That's at the 850. So I don't want to buy anything more than this X value down here, which is 38,636.364, but I don't want to buy any more than that smallest whole number. Any more than that, unless I buy 50,000, because it's cheaper to buy the 50,000 than to buy more than 38,636. Now, so what I have to do is I need that number, and I have to come back in here, and so the 50,000 is fine. But now this one, that next one that goes from 10,000 to almost 50,000, I need to change that to, and now it's kind of, right, by clicking here I kind of missed that. So probably what I want to do, I don't know if there's an easy way to do it, I guess. I suppose that I just need to sort of remember that number and keep clicking on it as I go. So that was 38,636. So I go in here and I change that number to 38,636. And so now you see, I see a little bit of the P that is in green, and the rest here is G. And notice then that by changing that upper value, G, the new piecewise defined function never goes up here. And so I've changed my domain a little bit of the values I can put in, and this would tell me never buy anything from this value here, the 38,636, until I get to here at 50,000. Okay, because that's right, it's $849.99.2. Okay, that's almost the 850, and so we would stop increasing there, and if I needed 39,000, I would buy 50,000. If I needed 42,000, I would buy 50,000. If I needed 38,637, I would buy 50,000. Okay, because it's cheaper. And just by putting that horizontal line in there, I can just find graphically where that happens. Okay, so we've taken care of the rightmost one. Now let's switch to this one, and so we'll come down here, and here at the 10,000 we see it's 220. And again, I just do that same sort of thing. I'll just change this to 10,000. Now it goes through that point, and I see it goes through here. There's 220, and there's the 8,800 and 220. Now here, good question, and I'd actually have to look back at the project to see for sure what I did or what I said, because you've really got an option here, right? I mean, they're the exact same price, and so I suppose one could argue at the exact same price you should buy the 10,000 here, not the 8,800. Okay. So we would make that 8,799. If somebody were to say the 8,800, I mean, it's really close. But technically, yeah, we should change that top end So here was the last one we changed. Now this one at 9,999, we really should change to 8,799. Okay, and when I did that, again, we see that, I'll zoom in a little bit so we can see what happened, right? Is that now our new piecewise defined function no longer goes beyond here, because those would definitely make no sense. And again, I stopped it at the 8,799 because once you get to 8,800, they're the same value, so you might as well buy more, I guess, right? And so I took care of that one. Now I need to go down here to the 5,000, so I'll change this 10,000 to 5,000. And so I'm at this next one, and I just do the same sort of thing. I'm looking on here, and I see that that's 3,571.49, so I want to stop this line here at 3,571. And so I go in and I just have to find that line. That's going from so we were at the end of G4, so I have to go to and see that's taking up so much room, it's hard to see. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit so I can see a little more of the graph. So I'll do my control and a minus, a couple of those. So the numbers are smaller and harder to see, but I can see more of the graph here, and I can click on that. I'll get my ugly mug out of the way here. We'll put me down a little farther there. Again, right, there's the 3,571. That is for the piece here that goes between 3,000 and 4,999. So I look for that piece, that's this one, and I want it to be 3,571 at the end. So 3,571. And we see that that shrunk things down. Now, you know, this one's green, so it's hard to see how it changed, but I can fix that. If I click on this, I can go in here and change the color. So I can make this one blue, and I can make all of these blue. Now, although it may help me find what I'm looking for if they're different colors. So now that I think about it, yeah, I could make that one red, maybe that one blue. We'll go with orange here. And then this one is purple. And so that's fine, and we saw that one okay. So then when I'm done with that, I can just go up here and say done. And so now I can again, if I zoom in, I can kind of see what's going on here a little better. The orange now only goes from there to there, and by color coding these, I can find them a little quicker. Okay, so that did that one, and you know, I'll do it one more time. I need to find this end. So this end again is at 3,000, and that's the 105. So we kind of looked at that one. That gets us to where we looked at this phenomena or oddity before. That was at the 3,000, and we saw that we only wanted to go to 1,312. And so again, inside this orange one here, I need to change that 2,999 to 1,312 as I did in the previous video. And so now that cuts that, whoops, off to, well, click there, okay. So, you know, that cuts it off to there, and I'm gonna move this back in a little bit so we can see, and zoom in as I go so I can see what I'm doing. And so the last one I did was this one, this curve that went here at 1,000. So now I just keep going, and you know, I go to I need to find out what P of 1,000 is, and that tells me where to cut this one off. Okay, and I just keep going. You know, this one's at what, 615. So instead of where am I? Where did that one start? That started at 500. So there's the 500, and it goes to 615, and so I can change that one to 615, and there, that made that orange line shorter and not go past the bottom of this one. And so that's all I'm doing. I'm just working my way left, cutting those off so that each one is shorter than the next one to the right. So, but I have to work from the right back to the left in order to do that. Okay, so that's the idea. There are a bunch more here, right, that you will do. And you know, so the next one, you'll come down here, cut that one off here, and then come to this one, cut off here, then come down to this one, and so forth. And actually, you know, it's kind of interesting looking at this one. What's that height? That's 54, and that's also 54. So actually it looks like you'll probably end up getting rid of a whole section here, this one, right? Because it makes no sense to buy 200 if I can buy 300 for the same price. And then certainly I won't buy 205 or 210 or something like that, because it just keeps getting more expensive. So it looks like, you know, I'll keep whatever piece of this one I need from here, and then I'll probably get rid of that whole piece in there. And I can get rid of a piece just by, you know, coming in here, finding the right piece, and you know, backspacing over it, that kind of thing. So wherever that right piece is. Okay, so hopefully that gets you going well enough to complete this task of making our definition much more practical. Okay, and what I mean by practical is, you know, I don't want my definition to be such that it costs me money. I would rather, you know, go here and say, oh, I was looking to buy, let's say 8,900. And when I look here, I'll see that, oh, this piece, and I can make this bigger again, you know, this piece would say, oh, okay, I can't get to 8,900 on this piece. Oh, but I can't get to 8,900 on this one either because that's 10,000 already. Oh, well, that tells me I don't want to buy 8,900. I want to buy 87.99, or I want to buy 10,000, but I don't want to buy 8,900. Okay, and that's the practical implication of these piecewise defined functions and the bulk discounts. Alrighty, so we'll say that video is done.